Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Curtis's Podcast Network in this AFC South Show 173. I'm the host of the channel. You can also find me over on That Real Texas Team podcast. With me, as always, my resident co-hosts, Isaiah, a.k.a. Duval's Finest, a.k.a. the Glitter Kitty Conquistador, a.k.a. Beardy McBearderton of Mayor of Beardtown. How's it going over there on 3rd and Teal? Awkwardly close game down there in Duval.
Yeah, I mean, we're not happy about it. And for all those idiots that were like, "Oh, Mac Jones, he's the future. He's better than Trevor." You're an idiot. Your mom's an idiot. Your dad's an idiot. Your whole family is probably a lineage of idiots. And it's I feel sorry for you. At least I would if you weren't such an idiot. But we're feeling pretty good though because we know the truth that Mac Jones is not the future and that this coaching staff is closer and closer to the door. So you just count down the days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, check him out over on 3rd and Teal. They're growing 282 at the last I saw. Like to see their numbers keep going. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Down here at the bottom, in the middle there, between Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, which sounds like a terrible place to be in real life, but it's not too bad on this show. Big Stick, Jeff holding it down over there on Unstable, talking all things Colts. Flirting with 70 subscribers, flirting with it. We need to get those numbers pumped up. Colts fans, where the hell are you?
I feel like it's a cruel joke at this point. Like y'all are trying to keep it at 69. Like it's funny, but I'm tired of seeing the number. You got to help us out. We just went live. I mean, I don't know when Curtis is going to post this, but we went live. Go ahead and check it out over there. The whole crew was finally back, and it was a fun episode despite the circumstances. But it's a fun pod.
Don't worry, Jeff. I got 56 accounts still I can unfollow with to keep you at 69 for a long time.
Please don't drop me to 13.
Just imagine. Just imagine.
Plummet. Ah, shit.
YouTube bans all of my accounts because, I'm just bumping numbers up.
You're causing yourself to make money.
I can't even make my pick'ems on time. You think I can manage 56 accounts?
No.
Oh, God. All right. And then not represented is our Titans fan of the evening. It's usually Brian. It's usually Austin. Sometimes it's a wild Blake. But for right now, there's nobody. But you can go check out our Titans pod. I'll have their latest episode dropped probably tomorrow morning. Well, actually, it'll be, we'll have it out tonight. Here on Monday, it'll probably be dropped Tuesday morning, the reaction for the Titans pod. But go ahead, subscribe. They're at 80, 81 subscribers at the moment. Like I said, their numbers keep growing. With all of that being said, all of us held an L this week. Nobody gained any sort of momentum at all. Who might you say had the most embarrassing loss? I feel like it's obvious, to me at least. It feels like the Texans Sunday night loss was the most embarrassing.
I don't think so. The Colts, it was not a 10-point game. I'm just gonna say that they got blown out in this game.
Honestly, I'm good with going last because I feel like we might have had the most impressive showing in all of NFL history. To be out time of possessions 41 minutes to 16 and still only lost 12-9 or whatever the fuck we lost. But I'll go whenever you guys want. But yeah, I feel like ours was like weirdly not embarrassing, but embarrassing at the same time.
It was a bad game.
It was a terrible game
by both teams.
But like as I said in the preview, I thought we were going to lose by like 40. So like I was actually like, damn, I'm surprised we didn't lose by 40. So that was cool.
Well, we usually definitely go with the biggest loser goes first, but we also usually go with the person who's not represented gets their team goes first. I guess so. We'll go with the Titans on this one. They'll take the lead here. 17-27 loss. Honestly though, Will Levis didn't look like shit. He didn't look great, but he threw 5 incompletions, 2 touchdown passes to Calvin Ridley, and 175 yards.
I would love those kind of numbers right now. I'm just saying.
He was also sacked 8 times.
Not that number.
So some bumps and bruises to be expected, but offensive line not helping at all. Running game couldn't really get going all that much. That really couldn't take a whole bunch of pressure off the offensive line, and the Titans just in a battle where they're clearly outgunned on both sides of the ball and potentially even on the sidelines with the guys wearing the headsets. But yeah, I mean, this was the outcome we pretty much all expected. The predictions went as follows. Jordan Dejani said 24-13 Los Angeles. I said 31-10 Los Angeles. Isaiah 27-13 Los Angeles. You got half of it right. And then Jeff 31-17 Los Angeles. So you got the other half. If you guys would have just, joined your shit together, you'd be fine.
Titans only score 17.
Yeah.
But no more, no less.
Yeah. Look, this is a bad Titans team that's competing for a top pick. I think right now they're number 3.
Fuck the Titans. Fuck New York. We're getting that first overall pick, okay? You back off. Hashtag start Mac Jones the rest of the season. Let Trevor get healthy and get the first overall pick season. That's a long hashtag. I know. We can get it trending if we all start using it, guys.
It's most of the characters of the tweet now. So beyond that, I don't know what I watched the game, but I couldn't tell you if anybody got hurt. I know Justin Herbert didn't necessarily look great. He had, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns on 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 165 yards passing.
He rushed for another.
I'm sorry?
He rushed for another.
Oh, and he ran for another. Okay. So 2 touchdowns to his name somehow. But this game screwed me on my big, ridiculous parlay, as well as Jonathan Taylor not holding up his end of the bargain. And then Dalton Kincaid, for whatever reason, just was like, not today.
Got hurt.
Oh,
What?
Put some metal in it. You know what I mean?
He got hurt, man.
Iron Man. Let's go.
I think he dropped if I'm not mistaken, I thought Kincaid had a big drop in the game. He was kind of wide open, dropped it. So it's a little bit on Kincaid. He was a little of an overthrow, but
yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, but yeah, this is about what we expected. So moving on now to the actual most disappointing game, in my opinion. Unless you want to like rock fight over this or something, Jeff.
It's all shit.
Okay. Yeah, well, you're right. Whose pile of shit smells worse? I texted everybody in the group chat during the game, immediately following the first half. Very active in the Texans group chat, active on Twitter, and I was active texting you guys just kind of what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. One of the things I don't remember if I said it in the group chat with y'all, but in the Texans one and on Twitter, I was expressing 23-7, great first half.
Yeah.
But the second half adjustments, man, we need those to be fucking crucial. They were not. They did not adjust. They had probably one of the biggest. I wouldn't put it on the same kind of par as Saquon leaping a Jaguar backwards, but Dan Campbell literally calling that we needed to get turnovers, and then immediately Carlton Davis III or whatever jumps in front of a pass for an interception.
Scripted.
That was one of the most like perfect TV ready moments I've ever seen. CJ Stroud missed a litany of throws. There was one in the third quarter that would have been an easy touchdown for Tank Dell. He saw it and waited so long that the backside safety ran down and covered Tank Dell for Carlton Davis's second pick of the game. This was frustration incarnate and a perfect encapsulation of every single game that the Houston Texans have played this year. I don't remember one game this season that we were down at halftime other than the Vikings game. And it's the same story every week. We either barely hang on in the second half and beat Indianapolis, Jacksonville that way, the Bills. I mean, the only decisive victory we've had was the Patriots, and in the third quarter, they scored 2 touchdowns to make it close. So, the third quarter and second half for this team is not okay. That is a reflection of two things, in my opinion. Because one, praise must be given to the first half, probable all-week game planning by the coaching staff. When they've got all week to game plan, it seems like whatever the hell they want to do in the first half, they can pretty much do it. In the second half, however, when the other coaches are making adjustments against what the Texans are doing, D'Amico has an understandable, all right, let's see what they're changing up on offense to kind of gauge what's happening. But Slowick is not adjusting, period. Eventually, D'Amico's defense kind of bows up after allowing a little bit of movement in the third quarter and stiffens up throughout the game, the rest of the third and fourth quarter. And that was the case for most of the game, or most of the second half, until the offense just could not move the ball and could not capitalize on phenomenal field position. We kicked way too many field goals and relied way too much on Kaimi Fairbairn, who in the end, misses that long-ass field goal and sets up another long-ass field goal for the Lions to squeak in the upright. And I literally watching that kick go down the barrel or whatever there, and just skimming the upright. I'm like, oh my God. I knew this was going to happen. I'm just, it was sick to watch. There was a lot of Lions fans in that stadium that night. That was disheartening. It was getting loud when the Lions were doing well, on defense. So there's a lot of issues going on with Houston right now. The fact that we're 6-4, I think, is honestly a blessing. We have a little bit of a more favorable schedule coming up, at least in the next 3 weeks. We've got Dallas without Dak on Monday Night Football next week, Tennessee and Jacksonville. So see how those things go, but it does look a little bit better than playing, the Detroit Lions, who are, the Detroit Lions. But 5 interceptions of Jared Goff. 5 interceptions of Jared Goff, and we couldn't do anything. The frustration. Texans fans, hit me in the comments with what you think could have gone better. But one more thing before I hand it off to you guys. Do you remember there was a play that Stroud was getting sacked, and Titus Howard, who was a high school quarterback, by the way, decided, I'm going to try to get this ball from CJ, and basically causes a strip sack of his own quarterback. So that's the picture on the Texans pod thumbnail for this game. Is Titus Howard, both hands on the ball, while CJ's being embraced by a defender. He's like, "Give me the ball, man. I got this." And then the ball just fucking squirts out of there. Can we stop with the dumbassery? You got your ass beat as an offensive lineman. Stop trying to take the damn ball. You're not in high school anymore, bud. It's just not a move.
Jesus.
Frickin' Christ. Anyway, with that being said, let's hear what you guys got to say.
Titus Howard has a lot of heart.
The Lions team does have a lot of heart, and they bit the fuck out of our kneecaps.
No, Titus Howard has a lot of heart.
No, he's got a lot of heart problems.
Probably.
Plaque buildup.
Jesus.
I'll let you go ahead, Jeff. I just wanted to say that.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, this is not a great game. I mean, the bread and butter for all these teams is their run game, and for whatever reason, it doesn't go that way. Joe Mixon didn't even hit 2 yards average on 25 attempts. Yeah, I mean, he got a touchdown if you're a fantasy guy that salvaged his day, but it wasn't pretty.
No,
he had a couple of good receptions, but yeah, Mechie had a great day. I mean, it was about time he showed up. Is Tank Dell just is he just going to be is he a thing of the past?
No, I mean he would have had a lot better stat line had CJ Stroud not just. That's who he was targeting on both of the interceptions.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going into the half, I was very surprised. It was a different. The game didn't go how I thought it was going to go. You texted us and said this is a game that could easily get out of control. Like Will Anderson not there, Nico Collins was a game time, didn't go obviously. So that first half surprised me. I'm like, holy shit, the Texans might actually pull this off, and then they got shut out of the second half. So
yeah,
it was.
The first half looked like the team that we were advertised in the offseason.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any of the weapons that we were advertising with, except for Mixon and CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So it was not like the defense was playing complimentary football, special teams was coming through big. I was like, the second half this is we've got to maintain, and we just couldn't.
Yeah.
Rough. Especially, it sucks really bad that Mechie's best game so far as a pro it comes in a game where it just means basically nothing.
I mean, I feel like you could be talking for the Colts and just swap out a couple names and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically,
we all have the same issues essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, look, let's pivot now to the Bills at the Colts. 30 point 30-20 victory for the Bills.
Felt like 30-point victory.
Sorry.
It felt like it.
By the way, before I pass the torch officially, Jordan said 35-27 Detroit. I said 31-20 Detroit.
You mean Bills?
Isaiah 38-21 Detroit. Jeff 28-20
Detroit.
No, Detroit.
Bills. Oh, you're going into that score. Oh, I thought you were talking about this one. Okay,
no,
sorry.
not yet.
I thought you already did that. My bad.
No,
I thought you already did it. My bad.
Jackass.
My fault. I thought you already did it.
The Bills at Colts game. Jordan said 28-21 Buffalo. I said 27-22 Buffalo. Isaiah 34-21 Buffalo. Jeff 31-24 Buffalo. All right, Jeff. Now you can
I'm
go.
sorry. I thought you were going over the score. I thought you already did the Texans. My bad.
Hey, don't worry. We're going over Buffalo now, Jeff.
Is that what we're okay? No, this game was not even anywhere as close as the final score. In reality, it's 30-13. They put up a garbage time touchdown to Alec Pierce. It's a hell of a catch, but it didn't matter. It was totally pointless. And I'm not going to spoil Unstable. I'm going to make you go over there and watch it. I'm not going to talk about everything that we went on there. It was about they're not going to, but please do. But yeah, it's got a lot of questions that, is this on Steichen? And there's a lot of bad play calling. 4th and short. I think they thought it was shorter. He started to run out Grover and Buckner out there on offense. I wanted to see what the play was. I'm like, oh, he's finally getting creative. And I think they realized it was a little bit further on the to go. So he took him off the field, still ran the 4th down play, got shut down. Take the fucking points. I can't talk about that enough. When your offense is struggling to do anything, put the points up. You would have been down by 4. They went back scored another field goal, so it would have been a 7-point game. And really, if you get close enough to score and you take the points, you could kind of shift momentum. It's kind of a backbreaker to get that close and come away with nothing and then give up points to Buffalo. It's just you're coaching them into a bad situation, and that as a coach is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be putting your players in the best position to win, and it doesn't seem like Steichen's doing that at all. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy over Flacco, Anthony Richardson. At this point, it's the same damn thing. It really is. Only difference is you're not getting a young quarterback the reps. I was on the start Flacco thing because Anthony Richardson, he didn't look good at all. But I think one of the announcers said that there's 60 more rushing yards in a game average when Anthony Richardson is there, but there's 60 more passing yards. So it's the same thing. You're getting the same output. You're getting the same dead drives. You're not getting anything out of it. It really doesn't matter. It's at this point, the best the Colts can do is 11-6. They're not going to win out. They're probably going to lose their next two. They're going to come out of this probably 4-8. I'd be surprised if it's any different. I've asked over and over if Ballard keeps his job in 2025 if the Colts miss the playoffs. I think they're going to miss, and I don't think Ballard's going to be the GM. And honestly, I think it's on Irsay. I think Ballard has been given probably 2 seasons too many. I liked his philosophy. I think he's a good drafter, but beyond that, he's way too conservative in his approach. And everyone's just kind of – there was a lot of boos that were raining down for Flacco. I mean, he started the game with a pick six. The next drive, he throws another shitty interception. They were both terrible throws. And then he overthrows Alec Pierce for another. It's just – they turned the ball over 4 times. He had a fumble in there, too. It was just – shit, Anthony Richardson can do that. But what I like about him, and he's standing on the sideline, he's got his helmet on, he's involved in every play, he's got his play card out. So it shows that he's at least trying to learn and he's ready. And I appreciate that. I think he's doing what he's supposed to. The defense was really good. I mean, there was at points where they let up some plays, but it's Josh Allen and the Bills. They're going to let up plays. But they turned him over a couple of times. Kenny Moore had probably one of the best interceptions I've seen. The way that he snagged that ball, just the back end of it, it was a beautiful interception. Even the announcers were like, I don't see many other corners making that interception. Like, it was a hell of a catch by him. And Jonathan Taylor, just a complete misuse by Steichen. I get back into his play calling. He had 15 carries in the first half for 107 yards, and he finished the day 21 for 114. He's their offense. They were playing against him the entire time. Every team knows that they're going to try to run, especially with Flacco. They couldn't do shit about it. And yeah, they stuffed him a few times in the second half, and then Shane just went completely away from it. He finished the game with another 2 receptions. He's out there on that final drive. It's 30-13. He's had some injury this year, ankle sprain. Why is he out there? Why is he out there at all? Of all the times that you pulled him and all the stupid ass times that he has, keeps going to Goodson on the same fucking play that still doesn't work. He keeps putting out these backups in key situations, and then when the game is dead, he's got Taylor out there. Flacco's throwing him a couple of passes. He takes a shot both times. I'm like, why in the fuck is he out there? Why is Flacco throwing him the ball? I don't understand at all what Shane Steichen's trying to do. It's not Taylor that needs the reps. It's Anthony Richardson that needs the reps. If the game's out of control, put in your backup, let him get a few reps. Why is Taylor taking these hits when it's completely unnecessary? Why does he have 7 yards and a half? This is a game where he should have had at least 150 rushing yards. It makes no sense. And it was another game that didn't really get out of control until really the 4th, because nobody scored in the 3rd. So I will say one of the few positives, I mean, there's quite a few on the defense, but offensively, I think Alec Pierce still had a really good, decent day. Downs had a big touchdown drop. It's really hard for me to say he had a great day. But Adonai Mitchell, he finally had the day that we were looking for. He looked pretty good against Minnesota. He had a great toe tap catch against them, and he came in this one and kind of he made a good impact for, it's just been what we've been waiting for from Mitchell. He was 6 of 71, so not a huge stat line, but promising. And he moved the chains a few times, made some good catches. He's very good at getting separation. It just hadn't translated to this point to, much into the stats, but it's nice to see him. Biggest issue is no tight end usage. They haven't used the tight ends at all this year. And I'm not saying that, any of these guys are Travis Kelce or Kittle, but god damn, dude. Especially when these old vets, they love their tight ends. Anthony Richardson, tight ends can really help a young quarterback. They're not using them at all. Granson, Mallory, Ogletree, like a catch combined a game. I don't understand what Shane's trying to do, and he's honestly starting to coach himself out of a job too. I don't know if his seat is burning hot, but it's got to be getting pretty damn warm. This whole thing is just kind of a disaster. A mishandling, mismanagement. It's bad. It could be worse. I mean, Dallas combined for 66 passing yards in their game, so it could be worse, but not much. It's another tough Monday to be a Colts fan.
It's a lot of tough Mondays in the NFC South as of late. Especially, dude, we had so much hype in this division.
Yeah.
You guys remember, let's think about this.
Oh, I know.
Let's think about this for a second. The hype that in our, I would say that the Titans are worse than the Jaguars are right now.
Yeah.
They may have played one less game, so technically their record's worse, but the amount of hype surrounding that team, and they're just so bad. And then a lot of people thought, oh, there's really only two teams in this division that are worth a shit. And that was either the Texans and the Colts or the Texans and the Jags.
Are there any teams in this division that are worth shit?
Not a damn.
No.
Didn't think so.
It's the same damn book, different chapter. This division is so
the same. Yep. It's the same book in a different color.
Yeah. It's
every
bad.
Time. Forgot to ask, did you guys have any big injuries this week?
I think
get into this Jags game?
Left tackle.
I think so.
Bernard Ryman came out with a knee. It looked like he could have played, but they just kept out. I'm going to call him Matt G. I can't say his last name.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the most notable. I think the Colts have their center of the future in Bortolini. He's looked really good. He's very physical, athletic. He's making good blocks downfield. He sprung Taylor on a run or two, so he's filling in really well for Ryan Kelly. So this might be Ryan Kelly's last hurrah in a Colts uniform.
Well, I know that Lassiter left the game early with a concussion, and Foley Fatukasi, I think, got an ankle injury, so he also didn't return. That's the only injuries I could think of, or that I remember, anyway. All right. Let's get into this final game. Before we start, I'll go ahead and hit the preview predictions. Jordan said 24-21 Minnesota. I said 20-17 Jacksonville. Isaiah 31-14 Minnesota. Jeff 45-17 Minnesota. So we were wrong. I don't think anybody was going to project 12-7.
No.
And nobody was like, yeah, the Vikings are only going to use their kicker to score today. That definitely killed me in fantasy, I'll tell you that. No Jordan Jefferson tutties really hurt. But Isaiah,
considering Jordan Jefferson's a D tackle, it's kind of hard for him to get touchdowns.
Oh,
Justin
Jefferson.
Sorry. Come on.
But not impossible.
We suck.
Also, a very weird fantasy league.
There's no way around it. The defense. If the defense could have held other teams this year to 12 points, it'd be a whole different ball game. For some reason, the defense showed up this week. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that most of our key starters played 100% of snaps or like 90-something% of snaps. And we weren't just like, hey, cool kid, like I know it's only the third play of the game, but you look real tired. How about you come out and sit over here and we let the rookies get a chance? Like, it was nice to see players play the whole time. Eric Armstead played inside a lot. That was cool to see Eric Armstead play in the position that he was brought to the team to play. We had 3 interceptions. That's I think 3 more turnovers than we had before this game. I think we only had like 1 or 2 on the season, so that was cool. I don't know. I really don't have much to say. Our offense looked fucking terrible. Mac Jones got tattooed multiple times in the backfield. I have realized that stunts. We don't know how to block against stunts. We don't know how to block against not stunts. We don't know how to block, I guess is the real thing I'm trying to say here. But just like there's no intelligent way to spin this and say, oh well, there's the silver. There was no silver lining in this game. In a game where you have 3 interceptions and hold one of the most potent offenses in the league to 12 points, you would think there'd be plenty of silver lining. But there's not even like a bronze lining or a copper lining at this point. Just a shit lining, and it smells real bad. Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, he sucks. We found that out. We already knew that, so that was cool to find out again, but in a Jaguars uniform. We should have just canceled the fucking white helmets as soon as we found out Trevor wasn't playing. That was embarrassing to break out those beautiful things just to fucking lose in a terrible fashion.
I did like those helmets.
Oh, those helmets were sweet. Yeah, just, here we are. Go Jags. The question is, do we, are we going to clean house at the end of the year? How much longer does Doug have? All the good stuff. Doug Peterson's a fucking asshole. Hate that guy. Because they asked him like, if you want, literally just go and watch any of his press conferences from the last like 2 weeks, and you'll be like, wow, I fucking hate this guy. They were like, hey, Doug, how does an AC joint and hurting your shoulder affect a quarterback? And he goes, well, I guess it affects which bag they carry or which shoulder they carry their bag on coming into practice. It's like, really, dude? He's like, I guess like when you're turning and stuff, but like I've had that injury. Like it doesn't affect your throwing really at all. Like, bro, it's a high grade AC joint sprain that could potentially need surgery. Like, yeah, it affects more than just which bag you carry your shoulder on.
Is it his non-throwing shoulder?
It's his non-throwing shoulder. But for anyone that's ever carried a football in the National Football League, high school, elementary school, any school, not school, your lead shoulder is your non-throwing shoulder, especially for a quarterback. And if you take a sack and land on it and you do this, you do that, whatever, and then after the game, they're like, hey, where the fuck was Mac Jones throwing that football 45 yards down the field from his receiver? And he's like, oh, well, I'd get into it, but you guys wouldn't understand. So I'm just not going to talk about it. Like, he knows he's almost gone. He's coasting at this point. Yeah, he's a fucking dickhead. He came in, he did what he needed to do, which was, kind of be a palate cleanser for the Urban Meyer culture. At this point, he's a finger in the wrong hole and kicking the kicker away from having the same thing. So this game sucked.
Yeah. Jeff, Vikings, Jags.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I mean, I was watching the Colts, unfortunately, also lose. But man, I didn't see a 12-7 score coming. I was honestly very surprised. Jacksonville went into the half leading. I was honestly surprised by that. 3 interceptions at Darnold. He looked like shit. He kind of looked like the Sam Darnold of old. Honestly, they just should have ran Aaron Jones every play of the game. It seemed like he was every time he touched the ball, he was getting them 4, 5, 6 yards. It seemed like so. The only highlights that I saw on Red Zone were when they showed Aaron Jones running the ball. So I don't know, man. I didn't see this game coming. Like you said, Justin Jefferson didn't really do shit, which is kind of a testament. I don't know how good the Jaguars defense was playing, but when you hold Justin Jefferson to 48 yards, that's a pretty good day. Good day on that side of the field. I mean, even with Darnold playing like shit, he should have at least 48 yards. So
yeah, he did so terrible because Darnold missed him, not because we were locking him down.
yeah, I can see that. But I mean, Darnold played like shit. I can't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I guess he's finally showing his colors, man. I don't really know what happened those first several games, but this isn't going to win him too many games going forward if he keeps playing like that. So,
Well, if you remember, Kevin O'Connell's pretty good about taking a quarterback who's a veteran, who's long since been given up on, and then producing a solid stretch with that quarterback. The Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs, that was last season after Kirk Cousins got hurt. So I mean, he's pretty used to it. And there was probably a good 4 or 5 game stretch where Josh Dobbs was pretty much, doing damn good things. But eventually they figure out how to stop whoever this quarterback is. They figure out his tendencies, and then it's over with.
Well, hear me out. It also helps whenever you go from a top 10 left tackle to Cam Robinson allowing a career day on QB pressures, and having multiple penalties and all that. Hey, who could have seen that coming besides all of Jacksonville? But hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for taking some of his salary and the pick, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy that next year. And by next year, I mean 2027.
All right. Well, look, any final comments here? You guys want to get into anything?
Only thing I want to get into is the Madden game I've been holding off.
I don't know. I thought you were going to say bourbon there for a second.
I mean, do I have any out? Anyways.
Yeah. Well,
didn't have nearly enough alcohol for this game.
Yeah.
Who do we got next? So we got Jags at Detroit.
Woo!
No, Jesus.
Houston at Dallas on Monday night. Indianapolis at the Jets. That's been flexed to like a day game now, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess where I am, it's noon, but yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game.
And then Minnesota is completing its trip around the AFC South, fighting, probably entering into a stick fight with the Titans. Watch the Titans fuck around and win this game.
No, they're gonna the Vikings are gonna come in and drop like 50 because reasons. I don't know. But
yeah, the season is very atypical, it feels like.
You guys are lucky. You play the Cowboys, fucking terrible.
Yeah, I know. But we're about to get our comeuppance later in the latter half here in the season.
I don't know what muffins have to do with this, but I hear you.
I mean, we still got Baltimore and KC on the schedule.
Woo!
Those are no bueno.
Have fun with that.
No bueno.
Yeah, I don't even feel good about the Jets right now. I feel like we've let quarterbacks that are kind of on a downpour. And I mean, I am not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I still am not. I mean, you can justify the other, but they let him kind of have his season game against the Colts. They've had like this whole time. They've just made quarterbacks look really good, and I feel like this could be another bounce back for Aaron Rodgers, return to form. I'm nervous about it.
Well, what? They're like 3-7. They're basically out of the race at this point. They have to run the table.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
It's a good launching pad, baby.
I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, the beat up Dallas
That's
Cowboys.
what I thought too, and we're 2-7, so 2-8, sorry.
The beat up Dallas Cowboys this week. I'm hoping. I mean, I started Nico Collins up until like I woke up. I had a nap and woke up like right before the game started, like 20 minutes before the game started. And look up, and Nico's ruled out. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Should have started literally anyone else. So then I had to go pick up DeMarcus Robinson, who's literally not even been targeted. In a debacle of a game going on in Miami right now.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't even.
So, all right. Well, look, check out the check out the channel. We're at 537 at the time of this recording. Like to see those numbers keep climbing. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. We're going to have another one coming out. We don't have a Thursday game this week, so probably either Wednesday night or Thursday. So be on the lookout. We'll probably post something to confirm which day. But go ahead, check out Third and Teal for everything Duval County related. And then check out Unstabled for the Pony Up Boys. And like, subscribe, notification bell on those guys. Like, subscribe, notification bell at Titans Takeaways for all your two-tone needs. That Real Texas Team podcast for your Texans fix. Like, subscribe, notification bell. This week sucked. I'm glad week 10 is over.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
You know, I predicted all four of us were going to lose, and I hate being right.
I did.
I wanted to be
it's not a good feeling.
the Jags to win. Little did I know that was going to be the closest game all week.
Yeah.
Well, not technically, but whatever. Anyway, be good people, y'all.
Yeah.
Fuck the Colts.